Well, hello out there. I'm trying to get my internet to do what it's supposed to do and play the song, but it won't. But that's all right. I hope everybody's doing well out there. Let's see, who do we got? We got Lehman's on the on the stream, my man. I love that movie. Cool Hand Luke was probably the I don't know, one of the benchmark movies of my teenage years. That and like The Doors. I don't know why. Not really comparable. You can't really compare Jim Morrison to yeah. Internet's just it's just fucking me today. And it's funny. I'll get this live stream going. I'll start working on this. Hi Randy, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I'll work on this for like 2 hours and I'll have everything perfect, all the settings. I'll be like, "Oh, I got all these videos I'm going to show. I got a whole presentation." And then all of a sudden my computer doesn't work or the internet just goes out for some reason. It's maddening. It's what it is. It's infuriating. But overall, it's been a great day. That's right. Screw the internet. Who cares? It's been a great day. Lots of good stuff's happening. It's been tough. This has been a tough transition for everybody. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're getting your unemployment money or you got good jobs and cash is coming in. You're doing all right, getting yourself in a good position. Um, you know, just kind of getting ready for whatever's next. God knows. I named the stream "Live and Let Commie" tonight. Question mark, of course, because I want to talk a little bit about just philosophy, right? This isn't political philosophy. I'm not trying to jam anything down anybody's throat, um, at least not live on the stream. But I just want to talk about some things that we are simple and overlooked. Like I said, lots of good stuff is going on. I've been talking to some cool people, and I'm really excited. And I'm starting work as well next week, which is exciting. That's great. I can even share a little bit about it. I'm going to be working with a casting crew for a game show in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you guys know anybody, we're looking for like duos, like a couple of folks who, want to compete, who are fun, good sports, and want to win some money. So it's cash prizes, and they might just be messing with each other a little bit. But it should be a really fun time. So that I'm starting to work on that next week. It doesn't shoot for a while, but we're trying to get some boots on the ground and get the word out there. So that's really, really, really interesting and exciting. Let's see, studying the Stoic, Randy. That's awesome. I like the Stoicism stuff a lot. I have been reading various things and trying to write more. I've been writing a lot, which is also another thing. I've been writing a bunch. I'm trying to get like a real live stream going. Usually I have music. I try to be a showman, and this is what happens when you do that. You get out of the shower, you're all excited, and you get sweaty, and then you set everything up, and you crank the AC down to 57, and you start freezing to death, and the computer freezes. Everything goes haywire. But I like the Stoic stuff a lot. I'm definitely mixing in a lot of philosophies. I think that the idea of egregores is super, super critical. Like if people just understood how much power there were in the energetic information structures that we sort of like subconsciously give over to without even realizing it, I think that would be a huge thing. That would be, massive, I've got a podcast coming out next week with Dr. Richard Waterloo, who is great. I'm going to be one of those. I guess I'm just going to have to be one of those since I don't have any internet. I'm going to be one of those guys that reads his tweets. Okay, let's try that again. See, I can't even open Twitter, guys. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I can't play music. I can't do anything. So I guess I'm just going to try to work my way through this as best I can without any props. hey, it is what it is. I appreciate you all for hanging out, and yeah, maybe maybe we'll come to some ideas together. Who knows? But yeah, Robert Anton Wilson talked a lot about reality tunnels, or as some people call it, Matt on his channel, Quantum of Conscience, he calls like a reality bubble. Spheres of reality, I've heard it called. I've heard it called particles of reality. Just a piece, right? Um, and and so all of those add up, and all of that energy adds up, and they create structures, and these ideas become huge, right? And what happens is these energies just pimp us out, and they use us to their gain. Not that they're conscious necessarily, though they could be. I don't know. There's no proof for that, but we do see a lot of proof for the existence of these structures. I mean, everywhere we see it, right? So I think that's I think that's one thing that could really make a lot of difference to people. And there's a lot of different ideas and philosophies, and these ideas and philosophies themselves pimp us out, right? Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys were around for all the whole, like, the transurfing thing, for instance, right? Transurfing, great book. And then, of course, what happens? Like a movement or a person. I've done it myself. You become the thing you hate. It happens almost without effort. A really embarrassing story. When I first went to college, I joined a fraternity, and I already embarrassed, humiliated already. But I hated how they treated us as pledges in the fraternity. It was terrible. They made us do terrible things. They definitely hazed us. They made us drink boiling hot Stroh's beer. Might have been the worst thing, and there were a lot of bad things that we had to do. Or I don't know, bad, not pleasant. I'll just say that. And there was a hell week and all this stuff, and so me and all the other pledges, we would just break all the rules and sneak around, and we never had more fun in our lives. But once I become initiated into the fraternity the next semester, and Isaac, actually, if you've ever heard the podcast where I interview my friend Isaac, who's a nurse, the RN, he was coming up in that fraternity at that point, and he wanted me to be his big brother, but my grades were too bad. But anyway, I wound up being just a complete asshole to these pledges. And for what reason? I hated the way that we were treated. And even still, somehow, subconsciously, was just awful to them. And I'll never forget it. And, you get to pick like one guy at the end of the thing who you hated and beat him up, and they picked me. I was that guy. I literally had become the thing that I hated. And, when we direct that much energy at something, we're giving it a lot of power. We're giving it a lot of momentum. And, man, your comments are cracking me up. But it just grows and grows and grows into this like control structure. We sort of see that. And if you could move the structures, then you'd be like the man behind the curtain, on The Wizard of Oz. And I think, that could be what's going on. Richard and I talked a lot about these reality tunnels in depth and what forms the reality tunnel on the upcoming podcast. And so his paper will come out tomorrow. He wrote a paper. 23 is the number when it comes to Robert Anton Wilson. It's just the synchronistic number and the number of chaos and all this stuff. They created a whole religion called Discordianism, which praises the goddess of chaos, Eris. And if you read the book, it's really silly and fun. They like eat a hot dog without a bun. Back before Atkins, on I can't remember what day it is, like Monday or Tuesday. It's really fun, but it's just a fake religion that Robert Anton Wilson and several other really smart kind of people came up with in the 70s. But any of the just as a joke, really, as a spiteful almost thing. But these ideas, these information structures, man, they have so much power. Ever since learning about them, I really see them everywhere. Like I can't I can't help it. They're all over the place. Well, if I don't have to monitor, I guess I don't need to wear these silly headphones. I can take these things off my head. That already feels better. Oh, man. It says my stream status is good. I mean, you guys see this. I can't even... Come on, Twitter. There we go. There we go. So, let me look up Rich's. It's like this, Doctor. Oh, boy. Look up some of Rich's tweets here. This is the one from, I think, today. Somewhere in here. Okay. So we talked about conscious languaging habits. We talked about a bunch of cool stuff. And if you all are on Twitter, please do follow him. I'll drop that link in here. Bootsy Unchained. There's Waterloo's Twitter, or that tweet. And, you know, a lot of what we talk about and a lot of what Robert Anton Wilson talks about simply has to do with language, which is one of the building blocks of the reality tunnel. We're kind of confined by language itself, which is crazy. So Rich was talking about some of the conscious languaging habits that he used. And this will help us to communicate, right? We need to communicate right now because, you know, live and let commie, I'm being tongue-in-cheek. You know, I don't really care what your flavor is. Communism is not mine, and I want to get down to the bottom of philosophy and how it comes to be that way, because it really has to do with two different sort of states of mind, one being individualism and the other one being collectivism, right? And collectivism and all these isms, right? I just want to get away from all the isms, to be honest. But collectivism is basically, you know, very simply, and I had another channel I was going to show you guys that I used to have back in the day, back when I was super trying to be an activist, and I was making videos, different types of videos back then. It's from like 2013 or 14. Maybe I can pull it up. Maybe, you know, she's just warming up. She's just warming up here. But yeah, basically it comes down to how you view things. Do you believe in a universal sort of code of morality and ethics, or do you think that there's such a thing as relative morality, where it's all about the group and what's best for the group? So that's collectivism, which means basically that whatever's best for the group, you've got to do. So you've got to make sacrifices, you know, and to each according to their need and from each according to their ability, right? Which is not really balance. It doesn't really sit right with the laws of nature from my perspective. And the other being individualism, which is what the idea of Plato's Republic is really all about, is that the most oppressed minority is the individual. So if you can keep the individual's rights in check, then everybody should be fine, right? So that's the basic beginning point of philosophy between these isms, right? And both the major parties that we have are both collectivist, really. It's really about a group and establishing that group dynamic, and whatever doesn't fit inside of that is not really tolerated. And this is why you see, you know, one party stripping rights from the other party and vice versa, and the rest of us are just like, what the hell, man? You know, we're just getting... Yes. There are definite moral lines. You know, you can check out Mark Passio's work on this. He does a great job. And then the basic idea is as long as I don't aggress you, then I have done nothing wrong, right? Like ultimately, like the philosophy boils down to very simply: do you believe you own yourself, or do you not? Right? The argument is, well, I don't even know where my thoughts come from, or God owns me, or something like that. But you are very much in charge of your body, right? Like your meat coat is under your control. So do you own yourself? You own yourself. If you own yourself, what else does that mean? It's just like improv comedy. It's like, if this is true, what else is true, right? Like if I have, I don't know, created something with my own hands, then that is an extension of me. I should own that. That means there is some sort of property. Self-sovereignty is good. I was going to play this awesome video. Let's see if I can. I mean, I'm going to try. This really gets down to the brass tacks of things. Let's see if we can get this going. I don't know. We're going to try. Oh, man. Come on, baby. It's not going to happen. Well, I really like these folks' work. The School Sucks people. They do a great job. Yeah. This is what it's been doing to me, man. It just is not letting me have teaching aids today, or really anything fun or funny to comment on, right? Like, come on, man. I had a whole thing. James True, I've seen some of his stuff. I know he goes live a lot. He talks a lot about a lot of stuff. He's got some really provocative titles for all his videos. But you can see kind of where that video would go. It's us. We're somewhere. Maybe I've built a shelter. Well, yeah, I mean, why would you build your own shelter if you could just take mine, right? I mean, what? Let's see if we can find some sort of images. I mean, this is really what it all boils down to. And there's a lot of people in the sort of spiritual world and the woo-woo world who I respect a ton, but I don't know that their values are always congruent, right? Like the third dimension is we should be reflecting our beliefs in the spiritual world into the physical world. And I don't know that that's always a consistency, I think that's really important. I think it's important to be consistent there. Like how can you use force against somebody and then talk about letting things be exactly as they are? Those two things don't go together at all. I don't know. These are weird. I'll just I saw Deepak Chopra one time talking about some stuff that I didn't think. It was just so political, and it was such a bummer, man. Because The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success is such a good book. And this is really a good quote. And I don't disagree with it. But if you talk to him about, let's say, I don't know, gun rights, he'll say that, we've got to get rid of gun rights, which I don't really personally like guns, honestly, but they do exist. There's no getting around that, right? And they're already out there. So how can you, in good conscience, be a spiritual, let it be, but then actively instigate something like that on another human being and say, I'm going to point a gun at you and you're going to have to give me your gun. Or even better still, not even do it yourself, right? Like Deepak's not going to go around knocking on doors. He's going to hire somebody else to do it. Lindsay, what's up? You can take my shelter from my cold, dead Pleiadian hands. That's right. Humans are pretty messed up. I mean, yeah, we are. We got some kinks. We got some issues. I'm not saying that I have the answers to this, but I'm also disappointed when I don't see consistency. It just breaks your heart. You admire somebody and they're up there and they're like doing it. They're saying some cool stuff and you get behind them and then they just leave you hanging. There's just a lot of incongruent things going on. So I wanted to sort of talk about the basic beginning of this whole thing. Here I am. I'm in a world. You're in the world too. How do we work together? So I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I don't like the orange man or the white man. Either one of them crackers. Let's For this election, I'm going to be a libertarian, right? But I wouldn't consider myself a libertarian. But I had to seriously rethink anarchy after the whole CHOP thing. But the point being is that's where we need to go to, is learning to allow more, learning to open up and be more vulnerable. We're getting a lot of pressure from both sides. So I think it's a good idea to think about our values, right? If we're spiritual people and we claim to be, enlightened or whatever, not that any of us would claim something like that, but what business do you have starting wars and taking people's property? Oh man, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, there is definitely. So there's cognitive dissonance, and there's people who are suffering from cognitive dissonance who are blaming cognitive dissonance, which is incredibly ironic. But, and I think a lot of systems could work too. I meant to preamble with that. It's like I think a lot of systems could work. I don't think one system wins. I think there's probably something, and I think Robert Anton Wilson even said this. There's probably something that's better than capitalism or socialism. And again, I'm not talking about any ism. I'm talking about individual freedom of the individual. And I don't think it really matters ultimately. Like, I think people should be able to pick and choose. I think even Ben, on one of the episodes when I first started just doing the regular podcast, Ben and I were talking about, he said that there were like these barges in the Pacific and they did these panarchies. So they would try different forms of whatever, I guess government or non-government. And I love these blue blocking glasses, for the record. They make me feel real smart. But they were trying out different things on these barges. And I think there's plenty of different ways to do it. I think like my friend Kelly, uh, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't want to put him in a box, but I think he's like a socialist. There was another guy who was it? The the guy who stopped that coup, Smedley Butler, General Smedley Butler. And if you read War is a Racket, I mean, that guy's a socialist. I'm not saying it can't work. I think, what was the guy's name who wrote those really good books? Wallace D. Waddles. Wallace D. Waddles. The Science of Being Great and the Science of Getting Rich. Yeah. I think we will come up with a new system too. I think we're not going to have much of a choice. I think it's really up to us. That's the problem. Is I think a lot of us are very meek and we we don't we don't take as much active, leadership as we. You have individual people and they're like, yeah, I don't really want to associate with this group, and so it's hard to get people to like get together and stuff. Oh Gord, what a question. Is the whole world stuck in one big induced transition right now because of COVID? I mean, in a sense, yeah, but that's just the nature of things. I'm not real sure what it is. I was talking to my friend Isaac today. I don't know. I mean, is it like he said it does not react like most things. I think the world's in a big induced transition right now but due to a lot of things, and there's going to be a lot of things that come out of it too, positive and negative. It's a huge opportunity for us to start to take more initiative and to start to get together, because I don't want to say it's commies or whatever. Like I said, I think there's a lot of different potential ways to organize society, right? But what I would say that we should watch out for, as far as this induced transition, is allowing ourselves to slip into a technocratic state. That would be the thing, and I think is sort of the thing that is underneath, just kind of lurking. And there's a lot of people out there who are excited about some of the, I guess, progress. I don't know. Maybe some of it is progress that we've been making lately in certain areas. You've got the people who are really into QAnon, and so these two factions sort of going against each other, and a bunch of people got banned off of Twitter, I guess, who are QAnon people. And if you're like on the left, you're like, yeah, get them, right? Like, yeah, we don't like them. Take away their rights. And then when something happens to the other side just like, yeah, get them. Yeah, we don't like them. So it's just screwing us all. A meat suit instead of a meat coat. Okay, yeah, I like meat suit better than meat coat. I heard somebody said soul condom. I heard somebody call it skin cage. I liked skin cage a lot. But yeah, I mean, let's see. Man, I was so much more organized for today. But whatever, you got to play it as it comes, and I'm going to do a fun live stream soon that where I get some people to help me, and I've been working on some sketches and stuff. I've been writing a ton, so I'm really excited. I have the reality tunnels. I promoted that. I'm thinking about, I want to take this little infographic here, technocracy, right? Like, this is what we're talking about, and I want to do like a CBS show. 4 billionaires meet on an exotic island with only, 3 vaccinations for the world's most deadly virus. We could have some fun with that. Oh, Elon. See that, but that scares me. That scares me more than communists. The commies, like the commies. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to actually show one of the videos that Will sent me not too long ago, and I'm just not having an issue with the internet. But basically, it's this KGB guy who's talking about how excited they are about Eastern principles and sort of like bringing those into the West because of the basically like the give up the sort of like if you're a good spiritual being, then you just let everything be. You don't ever put up a fight. You just allow everything to be as it is. Now, everything's about balance, Everything's about balance. It's not just letting everything be as it is and just going along with the flow, because then you become a mindless robot who's a slave to whatever anybody else wants to do to you, It's about accepting what is and then taking action from there, right? But this KGB agent was stoked. He was like, oh, yeah, while you guys are looking at your bellies, we're organized. We'll come in. I mean, I don't know how much you guys know about like the Bolshevik Revolution or anything like that, but this is there's several books, Rules for Radicals, and this is what we do to other countries as the CIA, I guess, or the intelligence. We'll go to other countries, destabilize them, and then throw people in power. We've been doing it for years. Got it down to a science. So, again, it's not really communism or any ism that I'm fine with that. Like, if you have a communist philosophy, it's trash, but you're welcome to have it. You know what I mean? As long as you're not like stepping on somebody else's rights, their ability to exist, right? Their individual freedoms, the fact that they own themselves, because that's the downfall of collectivism. Eric Smith, it's so good to see you, dude. Yeah, the navel gazing, man. Navel gazing. If we can just sit around and stare at our navels, then we won't know what happened, right? Like somebody could take power. And there are bad people out there who want power. This is not anything new. This is centuries and centuries and centuries old. You read Machiavelli, whomever. And it is up to us to pay attention to this stuff, not to, get sucked down into this and grabbed on by the evil dark pendulum of, conspiracy or whatever. But we need to pay attention, man. I mean, otherwise Vadim himself predicts it in like the 17th or 18th chapter that this network just basically cements itself in. That's what these egregores are trying to do, right? They want to become stable. They want a constant feeding source. Eric Smith, it's so good to see you, dude. I hope you're doing well. The most vocal minority makes the rules. It does seem that way. And again, back to balance, right? You don't want a democracy because then 51, take over the 49, and then the smaller minorities don't have any rights. So my point is that we should focus on rights for the individual. And if the individual is unencumbered, well, then society is basically, relatively speaking, more self-organized. We need to come closer to that. I'm not saying like, let's go to libertarianism tomorrow. I think that would be chaos, right? If you just took everything away all at once and destabilized everything, then, I think it would be pretty ugly. It would be anarchy, the purge, right? But I think, like the aim is the same, coming from the communist way or the lie maybe that is told with it is like, hey, we're gonna make everything this like perfect utopia, but first we need to give us all your money. we'll give it back to you how it should be, right? And the same thing baffles my mind with the Cubies, right? They're just like, oh yeah, we need to give a martial law. Give me all the power and I'll give it back to you. Gotcha, boo. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my God, you guys are too funny. You guys got any ideas for this technocracy show or what? I mean, come on. That's good stuff. Level 1. Like just Street Fighter. Oh my God, there's only 3 vaccines, guys. Only 3. Next round, we're getting into some other stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed your vacation. Now I'm going to be one of those people who's just like on their Twitter. One of those live streamers that's just like, hey, yo, let's read my tweets. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about these ideas because it really is. It's about philosophy. I want to be able to talk about everything. I feel like there's already faux pas topics that are just shunned or ignored, swept under the rug, and you can feel it, like you like bring something up and nobody wants to talk about it. Put your money on Zuckerberg, huh? I don't know, Lehman. I think my money would be on Bezos. I don't know why. I think Bezos is like a pit bull. But I think it's important to keep these things in mind because spirituality is about balance. We live in a material world, and I think it's so easy to just get carried away with just allowing, whatever to kind of happen as it does, and it's okay. And I'll just manifest. And there's nothing wrong with visualization and doing those types of things too. In fact, I just finished recording a meditation today, and I'm just waiting on doing some sort of musical fusion with it. Like we're gonna get some musics going on with it, and some like maybe binaural beats, you hippies, and stuff like that. Because I want it to really zing and pop. there's a lot of people doing group meditations, particularly Brian Scott, and his are awesome. And I was kind of naive to the fact of that were so many people were doing it. But I'm happy to contribute something. I've been doing it every day at 3 o'clock just because that suits my schedule. It's a really good time for me to just take a break from whatever it is I'm doing. What is 3-pill Monty? Oh, when you pick up the coconut. Oh, man. Demonetized. Oh, yeah. I just monetized, too, Like, that was short-lived. Maybe that's why I can't even play a freaking video up in here. That's just crazy. But I have been having some fun on Twitter, honestly. I don't know how many of you guys are on there. I do like it. There's some dark wormholes. I have a few fake accounts. I have an account. I have accounts for some of the characters on some of the podcasts that we were doing on the Flying Squid. And all that stuff is going to be available, I think, August 1st. We recorded a whole bunch of it. I think Kelly said we did like 27 hours worth of. Some of it was comedy. Some of it was us talking about stuff like politics or whatever, right? Like really trying to get down to the heart of the matter. That's why I say I think he is a socialist, but I'm not 100% sure, and I don't care. I think the point is understanding what rights are. Freedom of speech, obviously being number one. Oh, my God. Where am I going to go, man? BitChute sucks. Oh, God. Whoever created BitChute really needs like a marketing tutorial. Just the worst name for a platform I've ever heard. Like it immediately makes me want to go to the bathroom. I have been thinking about actually doing a meditation to help people who are struggling with that. And I might just say the word BitChute over and over again, just like BitChute, bitch. I got a bunch of different sketches that I've been writing, and I'm so excited to be able to put some of those together. I'm working on some fun stuff, and I hope you guys will like it when I finally do decide to release it. And so that way, if these live streams don't, burn the house down, well, I got some sketches that'll do it, Oh, Eric Smith, dude, I missed the hell out of you, dude. So funny, man. I hope things are going well with you. I think about a lot of that time about a year ago. Well, maybe a little more. Yeah, about a year ago or so, when all that transurfing stuff was just popping off. It says my stream health is excellent. I can't play a video. Those were good times, man. Good times. And I hope you'll reach out anytime if you need anything at all. I've been working on some other stuff, and let's see if I can pull up. I'll put the Flying Squid stuff here. There's still some stuff. Whoops. Actually, not what I meant to do. But yeah, I've been working on with my friend Kelly on some of this stuff. We put out a bunch of podcasts. We did one called the National Conspirator, and it was super fun. This has got Karen Rontowski on it. It was fantastic. We play a couple different characters, and basically we just take these conspiracy theories and we just yes and them into oblivion, right as far down as we can. And as you can see, there's some silly ones. Out stupid here as well, and that's a fun thing. It's really about who's got the dumbest movie idea. It's basically an exploration into how do these movies that are such trash even get made. Like, we literally try to make these movies as dumb as possible, and very often they're USA Up All Night worthy. We did a few Outbreak News things here, which were fun. And I've been working on some puppet show stuff for a while. But here is, and also this is a podcast that I worked on last year. Here, I'll go ahead and pop this in the. That's the Flying Squid channel on YouTube. And then Behind the Dial was a podcast that I did before that. And it is I think I'm going to be able to play movies now. It is an audio podcast, and I started taking this comedy sort of course where the guy was dissing on like a radio drama and how stupid it would be to make a radio drama. It's kind of what we did. And these episodes are actually really pretty fun. Basically, I'm dropping them out every holiday, every major holiday. I don't know how that got in there. Learn colors and food. But you know, this is the first pilot episode, and it's basically like a mashup. My friend Carlos Valencia is so funny. He's a Charlotte comedian, and he's opened up for some pretty big acts, Tom Segura and Doug Stanhope. He came on for the first episode, and he's also on the season finale. And it's broken up like as if you're listening to a radio station, and you switch the station, and it goes to like maybe a sketch, and then you switch the station, and it goes into maybe some stand-up, and you switch the station, and then it will go into a musical group. So we had Wyuka, we had 3 different groups on the pilot episode, and it's definitely just for listen. There's no video to it, but some of the sketches were really good, and yeah, if you guys get a chance to check some of that stuff out, it's right here, and it's on the Flying Squid page, or linked to it, Behind the Dial podcast. So I'll go ahead and I'll just pop it in the live stream thing. Oh my God, First Contact. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up right now. Let's see. Is this it? 1 month ago. Let's see. Here we go. Please, please, please. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, damn it. Come on, man. Ah, shit. Well, the story of a man who, after a UFO encounter, became a channel for extraterrestrial entities. Now, some of us know Bashar. My first live, I trolled Bashar a little bit, and I showed some Bashar stuff to my friend Jeff, and oh my God, he was like, this is gold. Like, I've never seen him move his pen so fast. Like, I was like, here's another pen. Like, he's writing just like, oh my God, oh my God. He just started writing all this stuff. So there'll definitely be some Bashar sketches coming up. I mean, he's just so angry. It kills me how angry he is. Like, how can he be? It's so funny. I wish I could freaking play it, though. Come on, babe. Come on. Come on. Come on. Do it. You know you want to do it. Do it. Come on, baby. Do it. Hey. Hey. Yeah, man. I've just been cursing at my computer all day. I was so excited, too. Like, I love doing these live streams. I just need to get somebody to help me to do the live stream part of it. I'm going to work on some stuff with Paul this weekend and put some of these videos together, and then I hope to put kind of a more elaborate live show together, and with some sketches and stuff like that. And I guess if there's anything with video in it, I'll just tape it beforehand and then put it in the live stream. Damn it. I don't know how this happens. Look at all these great opinions on Twitter. God. I don't even use Twitter on. I don't know what this is. Oh. I can't get any of this stuff to come up. So this is what Dr. Richard Waterloo's participating in is the Raw Illumination Day. And that is tomorrow, I believe, right? Yeah, that's tomorrow. Maybe Day, July 23rd. That's really exciting. And he wrote an awesome article, and I shared it on the next podcast, which is actually, oddly enough, the 23rd podcast. And I don't know if maybe I'll put it out tomorrow if he sends me the link. I mean, I may as well. You know, I'm not going to be putting out stuff as much once I get going on this project. But yeah, I mean, I'll put it out, whatever. So be looking for that. That's tomorrow. Maybeday.net. I guess we got. Let's check it out. Let's go there. Let's go. What else am I gonna do? But yeah, maybe they've posted some stuff here. Well, more info. Let's get it. Yep. So it's probably gonna be on this website, a bunch of different content and things. I love Robert Anton Wilson. He's just brilliant. I love the reality tunnel idea. It makes so much sense. And I guess he adopted it sort of from Timothy Leary. But he really took it to another place. Let's see here. There was one tweet that I thought was relevant to this, and I thought it was a really funny tweet, and nobody liked it, you know? Oh, here it is. Why is the communist symbol a hammer and sickle? They don't work. Is it because those were Lenin's favorite tools to use to commit genocide? I'm sorry. I just thought that was a fun joke. DMCA, all rights reserved. Daryl Anka. Yeah, that's right, dude. That dude will take me to court if I shave my face and put on a Jimmy Buffett shirt. You know, that guy's got to have more money than. I think maybe Will looked it up. He's like worth like millions and millions of dollars. He's like, is it Paul Anka's cousin or something? I don't know. It's funny stuff. But I think it's interesting to think about and talk about, you know, people get to have their opinions. People get to go with whatever ideas that they want. But if we don't have some sort of a fundamental understanding of that we inhabit our bodies, that we're responsible for how we act in the world, there's at least a little bit of space of free will. Maybe clearly it's not all free will. Then I think it could be really easy for us to be taken advantage of. I think it's important to open ourselves up and, you know, I think that the non-aggression principle is a really fundamental. It's just like the golden rule, right? I mean, it's actually simpler than the golden rule, and apparently 95% of people can't fucking do it. But the non-aggression principle just means simply that if you're not starting shit with somebody else, then there shouldn't be any reason for there to be any shit. It's so simple. And, you know, this has a lot to do with just very, very basic human rights here, you know, understanding this. I own myself, and basically all rights, and you can, I think Mark Passio is probably the best on all of this stuff, but all rights basically get, you know, all wrongdoing could basically be boiled down to theft in his model. You know, I own my body. If you like try to hurt me or take something from me, then you're clearly aggressing me, right? Like that's the aggression. The aggression will not stand, dude. But you know, I think you should have every right to defend yourself too, you know, and that's why I think it's like a little bit hypocritical for Deepak Chopra to be like, take their guns, you know, when he's like, oh, I'm enlightened, right? Like, that's just what difference does it make? What's the worst thing that can happen if you're enlightened, right? I just don't think that's very consistent, you know. It has all been done before. It has. And here we are in 2020, rocking out, putting on tinfoil masks, having fun on the live streams, kicking it, and talking just a little bit about some basic philosophy. And this stuff took me my whole life to learn. I mean, I didn't learn this stuff until I was 30. I wanted to show you guys my old channel when I was like such an activist, guys. Oh my God. I was like, I'm going to get you. And I put up a bunch more videos. I've taken a lot down, but let me see if I can. And I was going to play maybe a little bit of this. This was my old channel, my old podcast, Solutions, Not Revolutions. I went out, I talked to people about these ideas, and then I made a couple of videos. This one's really good, I think. This talks a lot about needs versus rights, right? Like, a lot of people are like, you don't need that, and that's probably very true. Like, Jeff Bezos doesn't need all the money he gave his wife in the divorce. But what is the argument, right? It's about rights versus needs. And it seems like the collectivist model really likes to use that word, like, oh, you don't need that, or it's not part of the needs, or this is your ration, or whatever. It's almost always subverted, so that some people don't have to do anything and they just get stuff for free or whatever. Whereas rights basically insulate you from the aggression that would come from the collective coming to you and saying, give us your stuff. You owe us stuff. And, these arguments go on and on forever. There's positive rights and yada, yada, yada. And I've been down the wormhole. That's not my point. I just want to basically do the fundamental kind of thing here. I thought this video was good too, but I was wrong. I was wrong about this, so that's good news. And this one I thought was good too. I thought this was really good. And honestly, I was talking to Richard Grove of Tragedy and Hope. These guys are awesome. Solutions, Not Revoluti. Oh, yeah. I'm going to drop this in the link too. Why not? Some more subs on my backup channel. I'm surprised it's still there. But Richard Grove of Tragedy and Hope. These guys are amazing. I'm hoping to do some collaborations and stuff in the future with these folks and talk to a couple of them. And they just do such an amazing job. And really owe them a lot from when I was just first learning stuff. Specifically, this is just gold. Are we going to be able to play it, YouTube? Are we going to play it? Oh, we're going to play this. No, we're not. Not even going to pretend. Not even going to pretend to. But John Taylor Gatto wrote a book called Dumbing Us Down. He was New York State teacher like three years in a row, or maybe New York City teacher 3 years or something, and then like New York State. And then he took out an op-ed in the New York Times called The 7-Lesson School Teacher. And it's such a good essay. There's analysis of it. There we go. Don't want an analysis of it. But this is his op-ed. And these are the things that he says. He doesn't teach history or mathematics. He teaches confusion, class position, indifference, emotional dependency, intellectual dependency, provisional self-esteem, and basically the lack of privacy. So these are the things that he is claiming that he's teaching, not actually the things that are, being taught in there. So he talks about this in the Ultimate History lesson and why. Where does school come from? And like that first video that I wanted to share, I Could Just Murder You, which is a great video. He's a big fan of Robert Anton Wilson, and also I learned a lot from the School Sucks project about the history and the origins of school. It's school. It's German or Prussian. Actually, the Prussian army had these capricious soldiers that didn't want to get shot. Oh my God. So they wouldn't fight on behalf of their king. And so they realized, well, we've got to indoctrinate these people from a young age so that they'll do what we tell them to. And that became Germany. So that's a fun story there. But these guys are awesome. Highly recommend checking them out, and I'm hopeful to do some collaborations in the future with these folks. I think they get it, right? Like, we're really fusing, I think, the spirituality and the physical world together and trying to just work toward a better future somehow. How is it going to happen? Collaboration and love and not giving up on those principles. Um, you know, nobody's preaching revolution here. I'm not talking about joining a militia unless they're really cool. If they're really cool, I'll think about it. Let's see, 4K video downloader is an app. Eric Smith, somebody has a hold of your account, man. I think somebody hacked you, bro. But I just wanted to share some of that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, these guys are awesome. Really, really good ideas and kind folks. And I'm happy to be in any way associated with that type of, I guess, movement or whatever. They have a podcast called The Peace Revolution. And very many of the podcasts are like freaking like 6 and 7 hours long. They're just chock full of information. It's also where I found out about this book, which I'm very proud of how this book is doing. Where are you, babe? This one right here. I learned of it from the Tragedy and Hope folks, The Politics of Obedience. It is an excellent book. It talks a lot about how the only reason why there's an authority is because we agree and give that authority power. And it's already got almost 1,000 views, which is great. It's got more than the Dow, and I uploaded the Dow actually before I uploaded it. So that's fun, and I'm happy about that. So it's a great book. It's very well written. Yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to share some things. I wanted to go live. I had a little bit more of an organized sort of thing, but I'll work on a cool live stream. I'll actually get some music. I was trying to play music, couldn't play music, but Kelly's an expert on all this stuff, and we have a dedicated box for it. I'm just trying to do it on my MacBook, and it's just not having it. I even plugged the internet directly into the wall like it was 1992, and even still, nothing. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate you all hanging out and kicking it with me tonight. You're all awesome. I really appreciate you. And I've got that new podcast coming out. I'll put it out as soon as I get a link for Rich's work and just stick that up there. And yeah, I'm around. So if you guys need anything, just hit me up. I got some cool stuff in the works, man. I'm so excited and really stoked to be collaborating with some really brilliant, cool folks. And I'm also happy to have work. I hope you all are doing very, very well, and I will see you guys soon. Yeah, I'll be seeing you all super soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.